Josh Taylor's dream of a world title shot remains on course after the Tartan Tornado racked up an impressive points win over Viktor Postol. The Prestonpans puncher extended his professional record to 13 straight wins as he barged his way to the front of the queue to take on WBC super lightweight champion Jose Ramirez. The clash at Glasgow's at SSE Hydro was a final eliminator to face the American, and there was no chance Taylor, 27, was going to let his opportunity slip. He had to put in a disciplined display against the Ukrainian, himself a former world champion, but the Scot made his mark in the 10th round as he knocked Postol to the floor with a perfectly timed left hook. And his efforts were recognized by the judges, who scored him the victor by a handsome 118-110, 117-110, 119-108 margin. Recap all the action below. Key EventsTaylor. I learned a hell of a LOT2335 scorecards. Taylor UD Postol23 round 12, 23-22 round 11, 23-19 round 10. Postol down 23-14, 23-39. Barry McGuigan lauds Taylor. That was a terrific fight. The cards were too wide. We had it for Josh by 3 or 4 rounds. He put on a terrific performance down the stretch. He's a very experienced fighter, sparring world-class opposition and dominating them. It was a risky fight. 23-35 Key EventsTaylor. I learned a hell of a lot. He was much more awkward than I was expecting. I thought he'd be slower. It just took me 5 or 6 rounds to get going. My jab wasn't flowing, but once I relaxed, I started getting my shots off better. He put it on me in the 7th. I switched off. I knew the mistake I made. He hit me right on the button. I used my experience, my brain, to get through. I learned a hell of a lot. 23-27 Key EventsCorecards. Taylor UD Postol. Here we go. 118-110, 117-110, 119-108, all for Taylor. 23-22 Key EvenTround 12. Postol sent across the ring with a big left from Taylor. Postol on his bike. Taylor senses blood. Popping the jab out and looking for the opening to finish this. 90 seconds left. Nice right uppercut from Postol. Trading big shots now. It ends with fire against fire. Heads banging as they meet. What a fight. 23-19 Key EvenTround 11. That should do it. No? Big moment, but Taylor must finish the job. More Taylor dominance now. Postol holding on. From nowhere, Postol whips in a great combination. He's not playing it safe. 23-14 Key EvenTround 10. Postol down. Taylor rallying here. Looks fit and explosive as he enters the 10th round for the first time in his career. Taylor's jab now coming into play more. The cut on Postol's right eye opening now. Postol replies with a good jab and right for good measure. Taylor owned the first 2 minutes of the 10th. Can he hold on? Postol hits the canvas. Big left puts him down. Landed on the top of the head. 23-10 Key EvenTround 9. Taylor lands a huge shot. Postol took it well, barely staggered. Pressure now all from Taylor, but Postol's chin is made of iron, it seems. Postol gets a telling off for holding by Ian John Lewis. 23-06 Key EvenTround 8. Stay tight, move around, says McGuigan. Really good fight. This, Taylor learning so much, he's got to dig deep here. Postol still able to push the jab out and keep the range. A good left from Taylor lands, but Postol replies to the body. Postol finally against the ropes, but he holds and escapes. Postol rips one to the body, sickening shot, but Taylor lands the right hook left hook combo. Lovely stuff. 23:03 KEY event round 7 thunderous left hand by Taylor, switching stances nicely. Postol lands the jab, and then another sneaky right. Taylor suddenly under pressure. Is he hurt? Postol piling the pressure on, forcing him to the ropes. A little cut on his eye perhaps. Some real pressure here for the Scot. He's experiencing new things as a pro here. 23:01 George Groves on Josh Taylor vs Viktor Postol. I've got Taylor ahead. It's a red close fight, only a couple rounds in it. He's starting to break Postol's heart. It's who wants it most. He landed a couple of telling body shots. 22:57 KEY event round 6 McGuigan to Taylor. That was much better. You've got to stay on him all the time. Touches, attack when he's closer to the ropes, and then drive downstairs. Both men grabbing now. Postol prefers the fight at range. Taylor must get clean work off inside. They fight it out. Postol going down low still. An uppercut lands on Taylor. 22:55 KEY event round 5 Taylor pins Postol onto the ropes, but can't land the big bump. Both fighters showing good feet to get out of range. Postol steps on his jab and lands the right around the side. Taylor growing in confidence though. 22:52 KEY event round 4 Postol pushing out a nice jab. Taylor works his way in, but Postol grabs nicely to limit the clean work. Taylor looks to move the head more, then lands a clean left. Postol back with a combination of his own. The last 2 rounds are being fought at a high pace, very technical fight. Good straight right from Postol there, lands it clean, then when Taylor covers up he goes down low. Excellent action. 22:45 KEY event round 3 It was a clash of heads, replays confirm. So the fight must go 4 rounds for a decision. Taylor moving nicely, but the distance is still long, which favors the Ukrainian. The heads keep coming together though. Huge left over the top rocks Postol. He grabs, but he's shaking it off quickly. Good round for Taylor though. 22:42 KEY event round 2 Taylor on the front foot now, and landing a couple of heavy shots early. Taylor switches stance, doubles the jab and then spins. Now settles into his southpaw stance and jabs to the body. Much better from the Scot. Postol cut over his right eye at the end of the second. 22:38 KEY event round 1 2 long range 140-pounders in there. Battle of the jabs initially. Postol is aggressive early, comes inside with some looping hooks. Postol is on top here, he's growing in confidence, goes to the body too. 22:27 Taylor looking very relaxed as he gets his hands wrapped. A huge step up for the Scot here. Can he rise to the occasion and confirm his status as one of Britain's most exciting fighters? 22:20 KEY EVENTTaylor TKO 10 Allen Dave Allen was stopped in the 10th round against Olympic champion Tony Yoka. The Frenchman battered the Englishman in the 10th round with a series of uppercuts before unleashing big hooks to pummel his opponent into the corner. The referee stepped in to bring an end to the contest, with an exhausted Allen still complaining he was able to continue, proving once again his chin is one of the best around. 2054 Key event Daniel Dubois stops Tom Little in 5. Daniel Dubois stops Tom Little in 5 rounds. Dynamite dominated from the off, but Little appeared to take the power initially, goading his opponent by sticking his tongue out. Little threw back at Dubois, a new experience with the highly rated British heavyweight. A good experience for him, and on to the next one. 1843 Postol. Taylor has already earned my respect. Viktor Postol says Josh Taylor has already earned his respect by being brave enough to take him on in the first place. The former WBC super lightweight champion faces the Tartan Tornado at Glasgow's SSE Hydro on Saturday night as he looks to get his career back on track. The ultra-tough Ukrainian has never been stopped before, and his only defeat came back in 2016, when Terence Crawford ripped away his world crown with a points victory. Postol, 34, has fought only once since that setback, but insists he remains just as strong as he was while racking up his 29 professional victories, 12 by knockout. Taylor's promoter Barry McGuigan has already acknowledged that he has taken a risk by throwing the Prestonpans puncher in alongside the WBC's #1 contender. But Postol is impressed that the unbeaten Scot is willing to take that chance just 13 fights into his pro career. He told Press Association Sport, "I was really surprised when I heard Taylor was taking this fight because he's only had 12 fights so far, and he's decided to test himself against a former world champion. But that's also why I have respect for him. I believe he has the power and the right mentality to come for this fight. But yes, he's taking a risk fighting me. However, it's a risk worth taking for him, and I always respect the guys who take risks." There were good-natured scenes at Thursday's press conference as the two competitors shared a hug at the face-off. But Postol will dispense with the niceties when they meet again in the ring as he looks to step up his bid to regain his lost title. This weekend showdown is a final eliminator for the strap he handed over to Crawford and now held by America's Jose Ramirez following Crawford's move up to welterweight. And the Iceman is insistent he will not let Taylor stand in his way. He said, "My aim is to get back on top." The 2 years since the Crawford fight have been an awkward situation. "I have barely had a fight since that defeat, and it's not been the most comfortable position to be in. But I'm still proud that I fought Crawford and took him the full distance. Since that fight, Crawford has moved up in weight and smashed all his opponents, so losing was no disgrace. It's hard to say how long I'll fight on for, but right now I have power and desire, so maybe another 3 or 4 years. But if I want to achieve all the things I still have plans for in boxing, then it's pivotal I win this fight."